Well, I'm hoping that this is going to be working. Hey, it is working. Oh, my hair's a mess. What happens if you have a little siesta and you wake up and forget to look in the mirror? Oh well. I thought I'd started this a minute ago, but it turned out I'd forgot to press the start streaming button or go live, which you have to do as well. Anyway, I'm such a noob at the streaming malarkey, but got to start somewhere, innit? All right, what are we doing? So we're trying to write more on the CLI tool. Let's bring that up if we can. Yep, there we go. Okay. For some reason, my Stream Deck is not working either. Yeah, it's kind of fuzzled. I guess I'll have to fix that after the stream. Never mind. To do things manually. Right. So we're trying to make a CLI tool to read in some placements and then read in a definition of an assembly variant. We're going to make it read in a list of parts that we've got on hand, and we're going to make it come up with potential candidates for each of the things in the assembly variants, and we're going to let the user choose which one they want, and finally build a list of actual manufacturer names and part numbers. That's what we're trying to do in a nutshell. Yeah, complicated. Right, and where we got to on the previous stream was this bit. Let's just make sure we can run everything. Oh, hi Darkman, how's it going? There we go. Look at this. I've got the chat next to my thing. Righty ho. Hi, Flying Tarot. Oh, look at this. Everybody's here. This is great. So let's make sure we can run this. We can indeed. No, that's not. This is running the tests, which is also important to run. Not what I actually wanted to run. What I wanted to run was this. Here we go. So we're going to press run this. And we're also going to remember that it doesn't actually run unless you've got the CLI tool built. Let's run this. There we go. Get our ducks in order. There should be 2 tests that it should be running. Come on. Well, it's thinking about it. Right. So build is failing, and this is what we're trying to fix. So we've got some way of reading in a CSV file, and we proved that earlier, but I don't now have the command line. So we're going to go cargo run bin variant builder. Not very exciting, this. And then we have to give it the features, which is CLI, and then we've got to give it the argument, and then we're going to say dash help for now. Bum 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 bum. Right, so that works, and then we can go build dash help, which is great. And then we can go build -p and give it the sort of test placements file that we had earlier, which was under assets cd edit trace example 1 -pnp, right? And it was able to read this, which is great. So we're going back into here. So now what we've got to do is put some placements in this test file for the test. So we could write some code which is completely independent of the production code, or we could write some test code. Normally, you want to have it so that if you change your production code, a test breaks. So whilst you could use the same serialization, deserialization objects that you're using in your production code to create the entries for the CSV file, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. we're going to create a new thing. But let's just quickly review what we had before. We had this dip trace placement record. So we're going to reuse this, but not directly. So in our test mod, we're going to schlep a copy of that down here. And we're going to call it test dip trace placement record. So there is no misunderstandings about which one's which. And we're going to derive serialize from it. Right. And immediately, what we've done, we've added a dependency on serialization to the test code, and we have a dependency on deserialization in the production code. So the production code doesn't know anything about serialization, and it might never need to, and this is a good thing. Because who knows, what's going to come in here. So we've got this. So ideally, we should be able to create instances of these and then write them to the file, right? I suppose. So we've got a file name. And I suppose we could look up the code for doing... we could look up the code for... I've got to bring up the right Firefox. There we go. That's the one. Look up the code for doing serialization. So... what was it? Cargo CSV, isn't it? Oops. This is the crate that we're using. And then we've got the example of deserializing. And we should probably go to the cookbook with Serde. So we've got deserialize. Writing, here we go. So you create a writer and you go writer, write record, and then flush it at the end of it and return OK. Seems reasonable. Okay, so CSV writer from writer is what we want. Right, let's do that then. Right, let's do that then, he says. Right. Right. So CSV writer. Oh, look, we've got from path. Okay, let's try using that because we've got a path. It's here. We've got this OS string, but we don't necessarily need it. We'll just go with that. Okay, we're just going to use the shortcut operator. This thing is great. Although it's coming from other languages, so we're like, why have you got a question mark at the end of your line? Because if it fails, then you get an error and your test fails. We expect this to work. Test placements path. Value used have to be moved. Well, that's because we've got this cruft left over here. So we'll delete it because we don't need it. And then the idea was we could go writer.write record, I think it was. Yeah. And then we'll pass it a temporary reference to with Serde. We want to look at the with Serde example. We've got a record and you just create it in line like this. I guess we don't need a reference to it then. We go test this dip trace. This is going to be interesting to see what it does now. Write record. So we're going to give it that. Oh, and we can use the structure syntax where we give it all the things that we need. Okay, this is good. And we're going here. So we're going to say ref.des R1. And we're going to give it a name of 0402 Yeah, okay. Real world examples versus test sort of data. I think real world examples in this test is probably more useful than just like name one, for instance, which I could put here. So name 0402. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's go res 0402 because this is what you sort of normally have in dip trace. And then we're going to give it the value of 330 ohms, 1/16 watt. And we're going to say 10% tolerance, which is not very good. Let's give it 5%. It makes no difference to this. We're going to try writing that. Write is not mutable, which is probably why it's complaining over here. So yeah, it probably needs to be mutable. Seems reasonable. And then it said at the end what you need to do is flush the writer. So we're going to do that, which also might fail. So we do that, and then we're okay. So we've written a record, hopefully. So at this point, is the file going to be closed? It probably is. I suppose we could look up and see what flush does. Flush the contents of the internal but to the underlying writer. So flush is the underlying writer. Flush bar, flush. I don't know whether it's going to close the file. So what we're going to do is run that up to this point, I think, and then inspect the path. Oh, let's print out the path. Print then. Yeah, this one. Oh. Placements file. There, that'll do. And we're going to say, just run this one. Oh, that was supposed to be debugging. Test placements file name. Oh yes, I got a bit overzealous with my deleting. It turns out I need this. So let's reuse it here. And then that should keep everything happy. Because we need the path here, so we need to clone it, or we can create this, I think. But we'll find out. No. What does an implement display? Option stir. Oh. Fine. This one is not an iterator. Okay, I must be missing something from the documentation here then. Is not, oh, because I'm supposed to be going serialize and not write record. Now, what I don't know is going to happen is whether my resulting CSV file is going to have any headers in it right now. It should do if this is a decent API. Because, you know, otherwise, what's the point of putting the what's the point of putting this on? Ooh, yes. we need to make sure we serialize it when we rename it in Pascal case, right? So let's build that again. So it builds. This is good. Let's debug it. Oh. Okay, we'll just leave it. So placements file was this. Right. I mean, this is good, but I wanted to look at it. I don't know what happened to my breakpoint. Was it because I pressed run? I'm not sure. Why is it not stopping? That's odd. What could be the reason for that? I mean, breakpoint. That's really weird. Why would it be doing that? Those other tabs. Is mute breakpoint turned on or something silly? Oh, breakpoints. Enabled? What's going on? Yeah, this is weird, isn't it? Let's just try one on the other text. How strange. This presents a little bit of a problem because I can't stop my ID to look at it. I'm sure this was working before. I mean, let's just see if this works. No. It's only stopping on a panic. That's a bit magic, isn't it? Why would it be not? Why would it be not working? Yeah. Software development. I'm going to turn the fan on. Here we go. It's getting hot out here in Spain. Why no breaky pointy? Let's do the usual thing that you're supposed to do when things go completely and utterly wrong. Cargo clean. Okay. Then we're gonna try again. It's just like weird. Is it running it with cargo rather than running it with the IDE? That might be what it's doing. Because I've had this weirdness before. Let's have a look at this. Why? I mean, it's attaching the debugger, because when it panics, it stops. Why is it rebuilding it every time as well? This seems odd. I mean, it's trying to run the executable that doesn't now exist. So it wouldn't have got to that breakpoint just there, but let me just hit that and again. Is this? Oh, that's on run. It's building it every time. Why is it doing that? Works. Fine. Okay. So what we were trying to do was get to here, really. So we're going to say go, and it's going to fail, but that's fine. Then we're going to go cargo build. To build the executable that doesn't yet exist, right? So, and then we're going to rerun that from the same launcher thing, because I'm not sure what I was doing before. I mean, I was going debug, right? And now it's just magically working. Okay, fine. That was very odd. So it should get to that, which is fine, and then we should be printing out. You don't see the output of the program in the standard out when you run it. You have to say don't capture as like some argument or something. So you don't see that, which is a little bit of a gotcha. Because it runs everything parallel, and it's one test captures everything. Ugh. Anyway, there are reasons. But can we see the file that we want to look at? Yes. Yes, we can. This is good. So we should be able to get to the temp directory thus, and it's .temp1p, this one. So we're supposed to be getting a file in there in a moment. Okay. So ooh, look, we've got a placement.csv file. I suppose we can look at that in the IDE, can't we? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, look, did it. Right, and now let's compare what we've got here to the diptrace one, because I can immediately see some differences. So the diptrace one has got quotes around strings, but this one does not. So we need to look at the Surde options to see if there's some way of having quotes around the strings. Now, the diptrace default isn't actually to have quotes around the strings. But because I've been doing this long enough, I know that sometimes you use commas in your names and values in your EDA tool. And therefore you need to escape things, otherwise your CSV reader gets confuzzled. Confuzzled, there's a word. So, I mean, there's progress though. Progress, right. So we've created a CSV file. It's got some stuff in it. We need to put quotes on it. Before we forget that, to do use quotes in CSV file. Okay, fine. And then we're just going to say go on here, and then we'll see what it says. Okay. But loaded one placement. Well, on the bright side, the production code was able to read the placement that the test code wrote. Happy days. So that's good. All right. Excellent. Okay, so let's fix this Surday lack of quote issue and go from there. So writer. Settings for the writer. How do you know? Here we go. How do you know how to use quotes? Quotes. I think we're going to search for the word quote. Oh, this is interesting. While CSV writing is clearly used in parsing a CSV, a proper writer will do a number of things for you. Quote fields when necessary. I would just want it to quote it all the time because I'm trying to match an existing file format. But it's great that it does it when necessary. Let's look at the Surday field attributes. Which we were looking at before. It's not really a field attributes though, it's container attributes, isn't it? And let's see if there's any mention of quotes on here. No, damn it. Well, I guess there wouldn't be really, would there? Because Surday is about serializing. It doesn't know that you're going to use CSV to do it. Okay, so it's probably on the CSV thing. Don't know. Where might we look? Let's have a look at the... I don't know. Where should we look? Let's have a look at the cookbook. Writing CV with Surday. I mean, this is what we were just looking at, wasn't it? It shows how to write it. It's fine. That's what we were just looking at. Let's go tutorial. Writing CSV. Writing with Surday. I suppose perhaps when you construct the writer, there might be some options that you can set on it. All right. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So, there was this writer builder thing. You can create a new one. You can go from path, which is good, and it gives you a writer, which takes a file. Right, from path, from writer, delimiter. Here we go. Field delimiter use. All right, yeah, this is one. House headers. Yeah, this is good. This is good. All right, it's flexible. What does that mean? Feels okay. Interesting. Curious. Terminator. Quote style. Here we go. Necessary. Right, this is what we want. This is what we want. So you create a new one from path probably, but we don't go quote style. Here we go. And the options for quote style are always. So let's do that. So we want writer builder. Writer builder. New. Of course it is. New. But before we do the from path bit, we go quote style. We're going to import that, and it's going to be always. There we go. To done. Probably works fine. let's put a breakpoint. Oh, I guess we want 2 really, don't we? Yeah. Because we need to know where it's going to be, because it's not going to be in the same place that it was a minute ago, which didn't get deleted, which is not ideal. So tump z oh. Oh, well, it's not created it yet. Go on then. There he is. Looking great. Serialize away. Oh. That's good. Oh. That's probably why it didn't delete it, because I still had it open at the end of the thing. Right. There we go. Look, now we've got quotes on it. Happy days. Right, good. And then if we press go, it should do its thing. Should still load one. Yeah, it does. That's good. Okay, excellent. Right. Okay. Yeah. And it's quoted it on here. Right. Okay. Fine. Still not used to reading this this output. Oh, here we go. This is what we see. Right. Okay. That's quite nice. That is. I haven't used that before. This diff predicate thing. That's pretty cool. Right. Now what? So great. We can put placements in a file. I feel like perhaps we should have more than one placement. Because if we don't have more than one placement, then when we create our assembly variant, it's always going to include everything. And we need to know that it is including only the things for the assembly variant. So let's do another one. We're going to say J1, and it's going to be on header 254. Seems reasonable. Pitch. Yeah. We can do it in that format. 2p54. Yeah, seems reasonable. Then we're going to say, what is this? Oh yeah, and we need to say how many pins it's got. 2 pin. And then no shroud. And we're going to say no shroud vertical. Seems reasonable. And we're going to call it power. Yeah, fictional things. All good. All right, great. So we should be able to write that and read it in. Here we go. Done that as well. This is good. Let's just say loaded 2 placements and see if this test actually passes at this point. I'm kind of curious. It should be all right, right? No, it doesn't pass. Because there's extra information. Because we haven't yet finished the actual implementation of this stuff. Yeah. Well, okay, so it's somehow probably here display usage. Display usage, because there's obviously some command or something then, some arguments which aren't right. So probably we need to do that. And then the rest of it will, you know, be fine. Let's see what happens just right now. See if we can undo this for a moment. So if we don't say any, we give it no arguments whatsoever, it gives you this. It goes not yet implemented. Right. If we take that off, let's just say print usage here. No. Nope, getting ahead of myself. What we want to say is usage. No args. When there's no args, then it should say some stuff. I don't know what I want it to say. I don't really want to get too exact with this because the output that we're going to use is hopefully going to be the output that you get when you run clap and when you display it with the -- help thing, right? I kind of want to say that it contains something. Let's see what other predicates there are. Stir. There's regex. Oh, look, this contains. Yeah, okay. You know, not quite sure how you chain these things together, but we're just going to say contains the word usage, just for now. Which is enough for us to then go back to the production code and then go print usage. Right? We can go println. I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I'm just going to see if the test passes when we do this, and then we'll expand both the test and the production code. Print usage, and then is it okay if you have no arguments, or should it fail with like an error code? Yes, we could make it fail. Incorrect argument. No argument specified. Yeah, no arguments specified. So I suppose, yeah, getting a little bit ahead of myself there. How do you do two things? How do you check two things? I don't know. Let's experiment and find out. Stood out. Stood out is exactly this, right? So there's probably like an all or something like this. There's probably an all predicate which takes other predicates. Don't know. See predicates, so more predicates. Okay. There's and. There's and. Okay, let's try that. Predicate. Oh, I don't. Oh. How do we do it? Oh, I need predicates prelude in order to get it. Let me just grab this. Here we go. Copy. Go back to here. Schlep this in here for a moment. Comment it out. We've already got it. So why? Wait, what? You can go dot and oh. Oh. Oh, I was reading that wrong. And oh yeah, look, there it is. Look. Ah, who knew? And perhaps this. No argument specified. That might work. It seems reasonable. Let's see what happens. Right, and we need to rebuild the binary. Okay. Then we've got to go. That was the wrong one. Never mind. Let's try that again. That's fine. So it failed. Why did it fail? It says not yet implemented. There's no args. Variant builder line 75. Oh, well, it got to here. Yeah, because that's sort of what we expect here. Okay, so it went on that one. Okay, fine. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do. We're going to say, okay, if there were no errors. That's probably more reasonable. If there was some command, then you use the command. Otherwise, you print the usage and you say no argument specified. Yeah, okay, fine. Oh, no. Got to rebuild the tool. Okay, and run it again. Right. It says usage /n. Error. No argument specified. Okay. This has probably gone to stud error. So stud, not that one. Ah. Okay. Dot stud error. Okay, we'll try that. No. What happened to that? I did error. Oh, I did that. It passes. Amazing. So our output contains usage, which we need to expand, and then error contains no argument specified. This is good. Now, what we're going to do real quick is run the tool with no arguments. Right. And currently what it's doing, it's giving us an exit code of 1. And I get a red little thing. And if I get a red little thing here, it means the last tool failed with a non-zero exit code, which is sort of what I expect at this particular point. So we should be able to say because there was a success right here, but yeah, there is a failure. Good. This should be a success, and this should be a success, right? Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to run everything, and we'll see what happens. Okay, this is good. No args is happy. Version is happy. Build not happy. The reason it's not happy, even though it loaded some placements, is because we weren't expecting it to print out the records that it read. Because we've got a bit of sort of temporary code in here. Now, if we look at other command line applications and so on, they often have like a verbose mode, right? Or a trace mode or something like this. And it feels like that's what this is. So what I'm going to do is do a to-do in there. To-do. Only output the record in verbose mode. And we're going to do that later. I ain't doing it now. It might be nice to do it earlier, sooner rather than later, mind you, because we probably want to use the print only if verbose kind of option in other places too, I imagine. But let's go back to the usage thing that we were trying to fix up. So what we need to do is somehow magically tell clap to display the usage. I believe I've done this before. I'm just going to quickly look up how I did it. Bear with me one moment, please. That's what they say, isn't it? If you watch bigclive.com on YouTube. One moment, please, he says. Print version, yeah, got this, did that. Banana. How do you say? Oh, I can't remember. Don't know. Okay, we're gonna look up the clap UI. I can't find it on my thing over here. We're gonna go Rust clap. The Google foo for Rust is pretty good. Fine. Cookbook. I want to display the usage. No. Oh, this is clap derived. Tutorial. Let's have a look. Validation testing next steps. Configuring the part. Adding args. Validation testing. Next step. Let's have a look at the next step. Build drive builder. Like interface. Suppose. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is that's that one. but it prints the help thing. Subcommand required. True. No. Oh. How do we do it? Because there's this. Yeah. Okay. Let's try using the IDE to find out how we do it. We've got this opts thing, which we don't have here. But let's just go opt dot. What can we do with it? Nothing. That's not very useful, is it? Why can't we do anything with it here? It's because it's magic. It's because it's magic. It's because it's magic. You don't know what you can do with it. And it can't find a declaration to go to here. Well, okay, opts, parser. We're in macro land now. No, you're never going to find anything looking at macro source. My previous right, we're gonna see if we can macros. Hold on. Target clap derive. Let's have a look at the tutorial. We were just here a minute ago. How do we force it to display the help? No reference. Parser. No. Have a look at. Yeah, don't care about those. Derive. Overview. Yeah. Oh, can it do a version for us automatically? I didn't know that. Yeah, well, maybe that's kind of useful. Yeah, args fields and all this kind of stuff. Yes, we're not present. It's like, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's not as obvious as I want it to be. I just want it to print out the usage. Or help. I mean, let's search for help. Maybe my food. Arg required else help. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So maybe I don't need to do it myself. We just tell it that we want it to do it. Hold on, let's go back to this. So we've got this command, subcommand thing. I require else help. True. Let's wait. How do you specify more than one of these? Okay. But how do you chain these things together? Because we've got. It's not obvious for me at this moment. I'm probably just missing it and not reading all this stuff. I'm just going to try putting it here. Let's see what it does, even if it compiles. Does it compile? It doesn't compile. Methods and attributes are not allowed for subcommands. Okay, so I don't know whether you do it like this or you do it the other way. Methods and attributes are not allowed for subcommand. Let me just. Is it one of these things where you do this? No, I don't know. Wait. Oh, hold on. Did I screw that up? Oh, I'm being stupid. Is it like this? I'm just guessing at this point. I obviously really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. No, we're going to undo this and work out what we're supposed to do. Does this work again now? It does. So we've got this thing which we need to put somewhere, but I'm failing to understand where you're supposed to put it. So I'm just going to do a bit of Googling. Google whatever. Let's see. Someone else has asked where no command is provided. Right. But I'm using derive. If you're using derive instead of it, oh, I see. It goes on there. It goes on the. Oh, it goes there. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Is that where it's supposed to be? Is it there? Ah, it is that. That's what we want. I mean, it printed out the usage. What does it do there? Got exit code of -2. Does testing things. Where's that coming from? Oh. Build variant. That was A copy and paste fail there, but that's okay. So it's not even getting to this bit now. I don't know what to put here because it feels like we can't even get to the place where it would ever return none. I have to put something here, but I haven't got a test for it, and I don't know how to write a test for it that would allow this to occur as yet. Just going to say invalid args. We're going to put a breakpoint on there, and at some point we might hit that breakpoint, and then we can work out how we hit that breakpoint. Or alternatively, we could delete this code, which is probably better. And instead of going some command, we'll always unwrap it. How about that? All right. Perhaps that's better. There's only one. There's only one thing here. That should be okay. That might be better. Does it compile? It does indeed compile. There's quite a lot of warnings at the moment, and you have to fix some of these warnings in a bit. Okay, excellent. Right, good. Let's run this now. Okay, we broke no args, which is sort of what we want because now we've got this usage thing, and we broke. Yeah, we broken things now. Standard error doesn't contain anything anymore because we deleted this no argument specified thing. But we learned how to do it, so you know that's probably useful for the future. And we've got this usage thing, so let's just expand this to match what we actually expect clap to do. And remember, we're not testing the output that clap generates. So we don't need to specify like all of this right now. We could, but we'd be forever coming back to this test and updating it and fiddling around with it and so on. And I'm not sure how much value there is in that. I mean, it might be useful because then it would capture thing, you know, we'd capture problems that I just fixed a minute ago, where I had a comment that was on here, which appeared in the output of the program. Do you know what? Let's assert the whole thing. It's fine. Let's assert the whole thing. So this is what clap gives us. Now, if there's ever a new version of clap that comes out, which changes how it's formatted and so on, this test will break. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Suppose it might be all right. Let's say let expected output is going to be how do you do multi-line strings in Rust? Who knows? Yes, I'm just looking at the chat. Hi, Commander Guy. Hi, Quick Flash. Happy America Day. Oh, it's 4th of July. Damn Yankees are being British, you know. Come back under our control. Let us rule you all. Now you want it. No. Okay, so we're just going to paste this in here. I sort of don't like it like this. I'm going to look up the Rust multiline literal syntax. I forget what it's supposed to be like. Yeah. Yeah. For the indentation. Indentation. So you just go slash on the end of every one, do you? Really? Because I don't want this over here. I want this here, right? So I guess we do this. I mean, sure. I was kind of expecting the IDE to do this for me, really. Yeah, there is one on there. Oh, no, it doesn't go there. Right, fine. Contains expected output. I'm not sure if it's happy with that. Let's find out. Much compilation. Didn't it just build all these things? Seems to be a bit build happy right now. Right. But what we actually got was this. Now you see, our expectation is wrong. It's stripping off the leading white space. You can see it here, look, right? Yeah. I kind of want to see what it looks like in the documentation. Raw string. Oh, this is it. Right. Raw string literal notation. Yes. Yeah, I don't care about the new line. Ooh, look. This is interesting. Blah, blah, blah is correct, but if the indentation bothers you, and it bothers me, consider using indoc, which is a procedural macro for indented multi-line strings. It takes a multi-line string literal, okay, unindents it so the leftmost non-space character is the first in the column. Yeah. which is what we want. Okay, let's have a look at this. This looks good. InDoc. Let's see how popular it is. I mean, that is what we actually want. Yeah. Rust crate InDoc. Let's see. 2.05. Very popular. 52 million downloads. Okay. So it seems like other people will be expecting this in the code base. So let's go with InDoc. Look at this, learning today. Right. So what is it? Is it a dev dependency or a test? What kind of dependency is it? Might have to RTFM on this one. I mean, it feels like it's only a dev dependency because we're only going to use the macro in the tests. So I'm going to add it as a dev dependency to start with. InDoc. Version. That one. Everything's fine. Okay, it's doing its thing. And then, so I'm going to undo a little bit here because I had a version of this where I just pasted it all in, which is the version I sort of want. And then I'm going to go and put that back. And then we're going to use the macro. We're going to try and use it. So InDoc. Okay. No, wrong one. And then we're going to put this here. Are we? No. What do we do? Oh, I see. So this bit goes here. Like that. So then it's the first, this first non-white space character here sets the indentation level. So that should mean that our string is going to contain these things. Okay, I'm kind of curious. Let's run that through the debugger. Interesting. Oh. Why? Oh, there it goes. So here now we can see this expected output thing. And I'm not sure if it's the IDE not showing the lack of line space. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Unexpected output. So at least we've got this now. Now I've got to work out how to read this error. Unexpected output. Which bit specifically is unexpected? So right, yes, because it's not showing us the difference between the two because we're not using the diff, we're using contains. So we probably want to use diff again, right? And then it should show us what, yeah, here we go. So it said Wait, what? What is this? What is this actually saying? Oh, yes, look here, look. Stood error contains the usage. This is what I thought was going on, because I'm reading this, I'm like, it says everything was missing. At least that's how I read it. Okay, now let's have a look. Unexpected stood error. Okay. So now there's only a little bit that's different. What's the difference between those two? Don't know. They're the same. I knew this was going to be a bad idea, testing the whole output. Why? Why does it think it's different? So the variable is this expected output, right? So it says this one contains an extra line at this offset, which contains this. Is there like an extra line feed or something stupid here that we're not seeing? What happens if we run it just on the command line by itself? And what happens if we pipe it to a file? Yeah, I can't remember how to pipe a standard output. Is it something 2 goes to whatever? Yeah, that was it. Oh my god, I remembered. Okay. So wait, what happened there? No. Okay, we're using cargo to run it, but cargo's printing out loads of stuff as well, which we don't care about. So if we go target debug variant builder by itself, we get this, right? And if we say 2 goes to foo, okay, then we can cap foo, and we got this, and then we can xsd foo. We don't have xxd installed. Okay, pacman dash s probably xxd. Is it q? No. Query? Yes. Don't remember. Oh god. Now we're into bloody Linux sysadmin. Pacman xxd. How do you? Gosh. Pacman search package. I don't like Pacman. Let it be known. I want to search for package. Removing packages, upgrading package, querying package database. Okay. So there you go. Pacman dash s and then whatever. I thought that's what I did. I did do that. Okay, fine. MSys2 XXD. Why is this Vim? Who knew? Fine. So UCRT? No, what? We've got to find a UCRT one. We've got MSys Vim. I mean, is this going to be the right thing? I don't know. Oh dear. Commander Guy says do Pacman -SYU and then try searching again. Oh, this is for updating it, right? Yeah, no. Oh dear, no. I don't want to install anything like that. No. But it's just not a package. So, you know, it's in the Vim package. Pacman -S. But thanks for the assistance. So we're just going to do this. We're going to install Vim. And then we can go which XXD, right? And now we've got XXD, great. So now we can go back to doing what we were actually trying to do, which was XXD foo, to see if there's any random line space characters in the output of our thing, which is what's causing the diff to be different. Incorrect. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Look, because we've got line feed. Why is it highlighting the A's? I didn't know XXD did that. I mean, it's got coloured output. I've not seen this coloured output before. I don't have man installed. Okay, fine. This is definitely a new installation. Oh, not Mac. Man. Yeah, go on then. Fine. Colour. Alright. Okay. I hate reading these man pages. They hurt me. They just. I look at them and I'm like, oh, just tell me how to do something. Like most tools, XXD's actually got some examples. But most tools have like 0 examples of how you're supposed to use it, and when you try and combine all the different arguments together, it's like which argument applies to what now. And most man pages is just absolutely shocking. I don't like them. But that's me and how my brain works. I've not liked them for many years. Right, so let's XXD foo again. Right, so we've got 2 line feeds here, and then we've got option. Let's compare this with this and this. Okay, right. So let's play spot the difference. So we've got 2 line feeds, and then we've got options, which is what we want. Options. And then we've got a line feed. And then we've got 2 spaces, a dash, and a V, and all this stuff. And then there's 2 spaces at the end. Oh, wait, no. Is that the end? It is at the end. That's why we don't see it, look. Okay. And then there's a line feed. That's a bug in clap, that is. Right? Am I wrong here? let's just. Oh dear. Okay, we've got foo here, right? And look, there's two. There's a bug. Let's just double check before I get a bit too grr at this to make sure I haven't accidentally got some random white space at the end of a line where it's picking that from. It's possible that I might have. I don't see it. There's no comment above the version thing here. It's just got the name and it's added 2 line feeds to white space characters in the thing. So if we put a comment there, and this is just a workaround for my current problem. It's because there's no name, so it's putting spaces in so that it can align it with the help for it. But if there's no help, in my mind, it shouldn't put the white space there. It shouldn't put the alignment white space there. So let's just say version like this. Let's say show version, in fact. Show version information. I might have to do a bug report for that. And make the world better. Right. So that's what we now want. Fine, go. Oh no, that's going to fail. Let's just no. I didn't rebuild the thing. Okay, fine. Okay, we're gonna rebuild it. Somewhere in my history. Oh dear. Draw cargo. Yeah, run. No. Build. That's what we want. Okay, fine. And then we're gonna run it. And it's still dying. Why is it dying now? Okay. I mean, the diff looks better. So what does it say? Unexpected std error. Failed diff original var. Original is this. Diff is this. Where's the difference? Where is it? Where is it? I need to make a little test case for this clap thing. Give him a bug report. Oh dear. Oh dear. Where's the error? Where's the error? Where's the diff? Failed diff original var. Original is this. And the var is this. But the diff output is empty. Let's just take a random character out here and run it again. Just so that we can see what it looks like when there is actually a diff. Right, so when there's actually some difference, it shows you a diff. Which is what I want. But if I put this back and run it again, it panics, says unexpected std error, but there's no diff. What are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong here? What are we doing? Oh, software development, yay. Panicked, unexpected std error. But why does it print all this twice? Oh, because of the panic. Let's put the wait a second. Let's I think there is a diff, but diff is being silly. So we're going to build it again, and we're going to run it on the command line like we did a moment ago, like this, and we're going to xxd foo again. Right, and there's a trailing line feed. There's a trailing line feed. Now, I don't know if this needs to be here. Like that. It should tell me, the diff output should tell me this. What a guess. What a guess. Oh. So diff's broken if there's a difference with the trailing line feed, and clap's broken because it's displaying too much white space. So we found 2 bugs in 2 crates by writing 1 test. Amazing. Right. To do. Report issues with diff and clap. 1. If the only difference is trailing white space, diff fails without showing a difference. Okay. The next thing that happened, and we indent these so that it gives us the nice same coloring. 2. Let's go diff flap. If the argument has no comment, the argument name is, the argument details are displayed, and trailing white space follows it. However, the trailing white space should not be in the output. Okay. And we're going to put to repeat, steps to repeat, remove comment on opts version. I suppose. Something like that, right? Steps to repeat. Run test. This one. Steps to repeat. Place closing quote for indoc on last line instead of on a new line. Yeah, something like that. Fine. So we'll get around to doing that. Okay, fine. So we've got a test that passes. Yay, finally. Okay. So if I change the name of the program or add an argument or anything like that, this test will fail. So it's strict. It's very strict. I'm just looking at what Commander Guy's saying. RTC 6705, they don't say which of the external pins is the input in the datasheet. Yeah. No, you have to probably guess from their reference schematics. Yeah. Did you look at the reference schematics? We're getting very off track. Off topic, rather. Okay, fine. I really feel like I need to do a commit at some point. Let's just see whether all the tests are... No, not that one. This one are passing. I think one of them's still failing, right? I can't remember. It's been so long. Okay, we've got... Yeah, that's fine. Right, we've got this verbose thing that we were talking about. That's pretty good. We've got a failing test. It's a work in progress commit. We're going to do it. We're still going to commit. We're not pushing. But that's what we're going to do. Okay, so... Okay, so what did we do? We've got this in-doc thing. I suppose we can... Yeah, no. Replacement pharmacy. I mean, this is all whatever. This is our new thing that we added. What else did we do? We fixed the comment here, which is good. Then we changed our error handling behavior. Technically, we could make this a non-work in progress commit if I commented out this line. Let's think about that. We're going to build it. And we're going to run it again. Might pass. Pass or fail. Pass or fail. Pass. Dun, da, 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 da. Okay, cool. Okay, so then that works. Oh, I ran the wrong one. You guys didn't tell me. Oh, I can't find it now. Let's just go all tests. Okay, so all the tests are passing. Fantastico. We're going to say output it as opposed to only output it, because now we're not outputting it. We've got a to-do there. I mean, to-dos in production code, I don't know how people feel about to-dos in production code. My view is they shouldn't be there. However, it's sort of okay to have a bunch of commits which you could roll up in a pull request, for instance, which have to-dos in it that get to done by the end of the pull request, such that when the pull request is merged and squashed, they're not there. You could do that. Ideally, they should never be there to start with. But if we wanted to done every to do, we might be around for quite a while without actually doing any commits and so on, because there's so many things that come up as you go along. So it's a funny, tricky one. But ideally, there shouldn't be any to-dos when someone runs the executable. And if the only person that runs the executable is a customer after it's released, you're sort of okay. But if you're doing like git bisects and there's a to-do in there, then that's not so bad. That's sort of my view on it, on these things. Branching and working with a team of other developers, making sure there aren't any to-dos for the other developers, and all this kind of stuff is important as well. But right now, we don't have to worry about any of that, but we should still use reasonable practices. Right, so all the tests pass, and all the tests for the variant builder pass as well. So we can amend this so that so that it's not. I mean, it selects that. I'm double clicking to select. Look, and it's doing that. No, stop it. Not work in progress. Let's have a look. Show version information, build variant, blah, 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 blah. So the main focus of this is reading placements from a CSV file, which is great. So we've got production code, which reads placements from a CSV file. I mean, and it tells you how many there were, and it says okay at the end. Then we've got a test for it. And we say everything's successful. Test our arguments. We run the build. We serialize some stuff. I think we need a bit of white space here, and maybe some here, because this is sort of thing that happens together. We need sort of like giveny wenny vennies. We don't have those in here really. This is one of the issues I have with method chaining, because this method chaining thing is running the command and doing the assertions, and there's nowhere for me to put the when and then separately, really, because it's sort of like this, right? When, then. You know, you see what I'm saying? And then there's this like okay thing at the end here, which you need to make it happy. And I don't really care about this at all. But you have to return something. We're just gonna leave it there. Don't like it really, but there we go. So this is given a command and a temporary directory and a file with some placements in it. And an argument. Then when you run the build command with the arguments as a string, then assert success and standard out diff contains load two placements. That reads fairly well if you read it out loud, which is ideally what you want when you're trying to understand the test. If you just try and verbalize the test in its little chunks, then it makes sense. That's ideally what you want for every test that you write. So we've got to go give any when then. So given a command, when I run it with an argument, then assert that it's success, and the standard out contains a version string. Seems reasonable. Okay, so then given the command and some expected output, when we run the command, is that what we did for the other ones? Oh, it's got no args. That was the difference. When we run the command, that is a bit weird. Then we assert that it failed and the standard error contains the expected output. Seems reasonable. Does it still work with the white space broken up like that? Suppose we need to run it. Let's try it. Go on then. Off you go. Well, it compiled, so that's good. So it'll probably run. Yay. Happy days. Happy days. All right, cool. Back to the commit. So we were reviewing what we did. So we're basically saying replace from CSV file, and we were looking through, we got to the test, but we discovered that there were missing given whens and thens in it, which we now just added, and there wasn't anything else to it. And we've got some trailing white space. We're going to delete that. And yeah, okay. I already looked at these. It's got the indoc, and we've added the dependency here, so this is fine. Let's check the unversion files. Yeah, we don't want to commit foo. We'll delete that in a moment. So yeah, we're amending. We're going to delete this. So we could push this if we wanted to. I still want to get rid of these warnings. The thing is, a lot of these warnings, again, they disappear when we start using things. So they're little happy reminders that we haven't used them yet. So I don't want to hide these warnings or do anything like that. So let's have a quick look. Never constructed, never constructed, never constructed, never used, never used, never used, never used, never used. Unused import. Yeah, we can fix that one. Unused import path. This one. Never used, never read, never used. Okay. Run it again. I do have to be a little bit careful when I'm just running the test again, because Argo won't have built the thing. So we'll just manually build it. We're going to have to set up like X task or something soon for this, I think. So it builds, because there's essentially three things that we have to do right now. One is running the tests for the library. Another is building the binaries, and another is running the tests against the binary. And it's easy to forget any one of these steps unless you know them all. And we don't know them all. We can't expect anyone else to know them all. So we use an X task thing to do it. Let's go all tasks. So we should probably do that at some point, but not today. Not today. Right, so we've ditched our warnings. So yay, happy days. We're going to amend that commit because we haven't pushed it yet. Everything's fine. Right. Okay, now we're going to push. I could push using the ID. I don't normally push using the ID. I normally do it on the command line. But I'm going to do it from here today. I'm going to try it. Sometimes I don't do it from the IDE because my IDE's got an entirely different concept and perspective of SSH certificates and things like this. This is like, is it even using the same version of Git? Who knows? Probably not. And is that Git configured correctly? I mean, one thing I don't think I did do, I'm not sure if I did actually. Let me do a git log on this. Yeah, no, it's got my author stuff there. That's fine. Fine. Yeah, okay. Git push. And I want it to tell us what it's going to push, which it does. And this is a useful thing that you get from the IDE, which you don't get when you do it on the command line. So it's showing these commits that we're going to push up there, which we didn't have before. And there's a warning and some to-dos. What's the warning? Method named underscore as normally takes self by reference. Oh, yes. That's an interesting point. Because there's as and there's into in Rust. Yeah. Let's have a quick look at that. Rust as versus into. Yeah. Look, see, someone else has asked this. This is great. But this was talking about using that from thing, because into is the opposite of from. And it said don't use from or into if it's not lossy and all this kind of stuff. So it still feels like it's as. But then there's the as keyword versus use of as on a method name. I still don't know. Let's see what the IDE said again. It says normally takes self by reference. Well, we're not doing that. Or a mutable reference. We don't need to mutate it. But should it be called as placement? I mean, we are consuming it. What about renaming it to build placement and not own it? You see, but we're saying that we want to transfer the ownership of refdes into the placement. That's what we were saying. I guess we could go clone like this and then everything would probably be okay. Let's do that. I think that's reasonable. Fine. Right. So we've got to do a commit now. and we renamed it. We did a clone, and it would have also changed the test somewhere. Oh no, these are. Where's it used? Wait, what? No usages found. Really? I thought we did that. Build placement. Oh, did we forget to call it? Look, I think we forgot to call it. No, we've got as placement. How's it compiling? Oh, because why didn't it change that? Did I overtype it instead of rename it? I might have done. Okay, I'm running the wrong test. I want to know how to. Okay, all right, it is building. Okay, fine. No method is fine. So build placement. Okay, good. And then we're going to run the builder tests. We just built it, so it should be okay. Yeah, it still passes. Okay. Fine. Everything's good. Everything's gravy. Right. So now my diff contains the other change. So I was like, where's the other change gone? Okay, fine. So what are we doing here? Placement record. Improve naming. Improve method naming based on ID method naming suggestions. Fine. Seems reasonable. Commit. Let's go. Okay, fine. So now we're going to try pushing again. And this is why pushing in the IDE is sometimes better than pushing on the command line. Because it tells you what it's going to do, and it also can do a code review before you push, which sometimes prevents you from doing stupid things. So now we've only got 2 to-dos, which is fine for now. So one is report issues, and the other is report output. We're going to get to them, but they're not breaking stuff. There is this to do here, which has a to do on it. We're going to come back to this and poke this around shortly after this anyway, so it's fine for now. This thing doesn't do anything useful yet anyway. Yeah, okay, we're going to push. We're going to push. Can we push at this point? No, that's the. Is there an option to push? I don't use this thing very often. Do we do it again? Push. We go okay. Then we go push anyway. Yay. Okay, good. Let's just have a quick look at the repo to make sure everything looks fine there. Oh yeah, github.com/MakerPnP. Fine. Repos, MakerPnP, commits. We still haven't got a README. You know, cool beans. Now, I'm going to try doing a coverage report. I'm curious. And then I think we might be done for the day after this. So if we run all the tests with coverage, Burkov is not installed. Okay, install it then. See, I'm glad I did it now, look. I might not be glad I did it, because I thought it was going to be quicker. All right then. Probably need to lend some thought as to what to do next after this as well. We're going to have to do something with the placements now that we've got some placements. But we can't do anything with the placements yet because we need the definition of an assembly variant. Don't really know how I'm going to define an assembly variant. My first thought is via command line arguments because it's easy. Okay, it installed something. Okay, because if, for instance, we had some command line arguments that said variant name and a refdex list, basically that's all a variant is at the moment. That's what we defined it as already. Let's see if coverage report works. This will be good. So we've got coverage report of the main library, which we've now hopefully got somewhere. Where's my coverage report? Ah, there it is. It just took a while to load up. That was weird, wasn't it? No coverage reports. Well, I mean, how can there be no coverage reports? Let's do a clean, because I don't trust it. Run all tests with coverage. Here we go. Replace active suite's good. Ah, still. Why no coverage reports? Okay, let's but it all says 100%. I'm looking on the left here and it says mod 100% lines covered, and it's showing coverage information here in green, which is what you want. So why show only files with uncommitted changes in the coverage report? Why? Thank you. Okay, I don't know why that was on by default. That's a little bit weird. Okay, that makes more sense. So the coverage is working. That looks good. I mean, 100% covered, 100% covered, 100% covered. That's pretty good. Let's expand this a little bit. We can't see the because with coverage reports you've got branch coverage, you've got line coverage, and you've got file coverage, and you've got all the rest of it, right? I don't see the columns. Is this? No. What about, can we right click this? No. Generate a coverage report. Go on then. Open generate report in browser. Yeah, go on. Coverage report say blah 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 blah. Okay. HTML report. I mean, open in Explorer. Where's it created a directory called HTML report, but it didn't put an HTML file in it. Am I the only one that sees a problem with this? Open generated HTML in browser. Output directory, HTML report. Generate coverage report for it. Yes. The coverage report was saved. All test coverage report Elka. Follow the instructions to generate HTML output. What? But you just said generate report, and now you want me to jump through more hoops. Why? Like, I'm not reading that. I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it. No. What we're going to look for instead is cargo coverage. No. How about Rust cargo coverage? Rust, see, but yeah, test coverage. Okay, someone else asked the same thing. Look at this case. Blah 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 blah. G get coverage. I want a coverage report. Cake off. You get errors. Yada yada yada. Appalling. What's this all about? Code coverage reporting tool for cargo build system. Applies more coverage. Oh, it does have support for bins. That was going to be my next question. It's yeah. Install it, yeah, cargo install, whatever. No, we're not using that. And then we go help and let's try it. Go. Oh, good lord, that's a lot of compiling. Be nice to get a pretty coverage report for the project. Because in Java land, you use Clover. And that generates nice, pretty coverage, HTML coverage reports. And it tells you in a nice visual way which bits of code don't have high coverage reports. And it gives you like one of those, what are they called? It's like it shows you like a bunch of words, and some are bigger and some are smaller, depending on some property. I can't remember the name of those things. And the property that it uses to determine which word or thing is bigger is the coverage percentage. So they're pretty cool. Okay, so fine. But I don't know what this is going to look like. So we're going to go... Now I know that this is going to probably not be right. Okay, we're going to go cargo tar. Am I spelling that right? I am. Can we run it? We can. Right, so we got tests. But what if... Let's just see what happens if we do this. because is it going to run coverage reports on the tests as well as the tests for the binary? Do we have to do them separately and then amalgamate the things, or what? So it ran some tests for the library. So, and there's a dash dash bins dash dash. Let's see what happens if you go dash dash bins dash dash tests like this. Target. Oh, I see. Maybe we have to go variant builder. Yeah, bins. Don't know what the thing is. That's just help. That's just bins. Let's try that. Well, that just showed me the same thing, didn't it? Dash dash bins. Test all binaries. Let's just go dash dash bins like it says then. But no targets matched. Don't know. Okay, we'll forget the bins for today. We'll come back to that. We're just going to run it, and we're going to have a look at the report and see what the report says in it. Okay. Now, where's it put it? It's got coverage results, but does it create a nice little HTML thingy that we can look at? Oh, there's a tarpaulin directory. There's a JSON file. Okay, so I guess we need to go help. Hmm. Where? Okay. Let's search for HTML. Oh, no. Ah, format. I didn't see that. Dash dash O. Dash O. HTML, was it? Possible values. HTML with capital H. Whoa, I didn't put a capital H there. Oh, look. There's a file. Okay, cool. That's a handy little trick if anyone's just spotted that. You can go start dot, and it brings up Explorer in the directory that you're currently in, which is very useful. Yeah. Going to open it in the wrong browser if I just double click it. So we're going to drag drop it. We're going to drag drop it. There we are, honestly. There we are. Oh, look, we've got a coverage report. Magic. It doesn't look very good, though. I mean, I was expecting a little bit more. My expectations were clearly too high. Because I'm used to nice coverage reports from Clover. Clover coverage report. Let's search for images. You know, and they sort of look like this. That was what I was looking for. So we're going to have to look into that at some point in the future. Okay, so 96.97% coverage. I mean, that's pretty good. Something in the part map has not got coverage. Oh dear, look, we got a case where there's no results. I mean, happy days. I mean, come on, that's pretty good. All right. I'm happy with that. I'm happy enough for that. Running coverage reports. Remembering stuff. Going to struggle with it. Let's bookmark this. Cargo, coverage, and then this thing is called all in. Yeah. There's probably a nicer report generator. Okay, we can look into improving the coverage sort of stuff at some point. It's not super important now. There's not that much code there. Okay. Yeah, so I was also expecting like different things to appear here, like branch coverage. I don't know how the Rust coverage systems work when they do the profiling. So I'm fairly familiar with the JVM stuff as to how it works. So for any given line of code, there can be different code paths that it can take, right? Which is the branch coverage. So what you sort of want to see is like, are all the branches covered, or did we miss some? Because if you've got a lot, the lines covered, it only means that one of the branches out of the possible many branches have been covered. So really you want to look at the branch coverage, not line coverage. That's the important one. Okay. Because looking at coverage reports and just seeing 100% lines covered everywhere gives you a false sense of security. Thoughts on coverage reports, when to use them, when they're applicable, and so on. You don't know that your project is working if you've got 100% coverage. You might run all the branches, but you might not still be testing that it does what you want to do. You have to bear that in mind. It's very important. There's some people put a lot of emphasis on coverage reports, and they just strive for like improving the coverage without striving to improve the quality of the tests. So coverage reports are just a tool which can help. They shouldn't be the thing that you rely on to make sure the software does what you want it to do. At the moment, I'm fairly confident that if I was to change anything in the production code, a test somewhere would fail. Let's do a little test on this. So if we get our variant builder, right, and we know that changing this will break that one test. We know that removing an option will break a test. We know that changing the output of changing this will break it. Yeah, pretty high confidence that if we changed anything, Except this. We could change that line and nothing would break. Ooh, we've got some old code that's not used. I'm glad I looked at that now. Oh, no. Close annotations. Yeah. If I probably read these things more, never used, I probably would have come across that one. And of course, our coverage report that I was literally just looking at doesn't include coverage reports on the binaries yet because I haven't been able to work out what the command line is to make it do it. Which is why we didn't see that. And we also don't know whether this binary is covered well. What we're going to need to do fairly soon is extract some of this code and put it somewhere else so that it's not necessarily only in the binary. I'm not sure yet because it has an impact on the dependencies. And it may be that we want to move the tool to its own crate and create a cargo workspace which contains that stuff. There's many things to know and do and everything here. And we've got some other comments out code here, so we'll just do a bit of a cleanup here. All tests, no. So we're gonna quickly run somewhere. There it is. Does it still build? And our survey says, yeah, you see, is that print usage thing? You see, there it is. There's the warning. There's the warning. Goodbye. Don't need it because we got clap to do it instead, right? Still builds. And then we're going to run the test. This one. I'm not sure why this is two sort of phases of compiling and running stuff right now. It's freaking me out a little bit. Everything's fine. So we'll just do a cleanup. Okay, fine. Delete unused code. Yeah, deleting code. Happy days. Love deleting code. Yeah. Commit. Let's push that. And I think that's going to be it for today. Not file. Not file. Git. Pushy push. Not pull. Push. Right, we've already reviewed these. Push. Done. All right, so yeah, tomorrow we'll do some more work on the CLI tool and we'll start dealing with assembly variants. And just remember, it's only software. How hard can it be? See you on the next one.